Championship. The Mount Albert Lions have every right to be there and have been the best club side in Auckland over the past decade. The reigning premiers have again shown they know what's needed in finals football, and under coach Steve Buckingham, and with their mix of dynamic young talent and experienced cool heads, they'll be a tough nut to crack in today's big showdown. The Leopards are desperate for a Fox win. Their trophy cabinet this year includes the Root Rooster and the Rukutai Shield for winning the minor premiership. But in the past decade, the Fox has eluded them. Is today Leopard Day? We'll know in just 80 minutes or so as the Leopards and the Lions go head-to-head in the Fox Memorial Final right here in the home of Auckland Rugby League, Māori Television. Kia ora koutou katoa nau mai, hara mai kia pō whakaata Māori. Mount Smart Stadium here in Tamaki Makaurau. It's the clash of the Titans, it's the Leopards and the Lions, it's the final of the Fox Memorial Championship. Kia ora watu e hoa mā, aha kono hea koutou, tēnā koutou. Thanks very much for tuning into Māori Television. We're looking forward to the call. It's crunch time for these two fine teams, and joining us for the action today, roto i te reo Māori, is our friend Wairangi Kōpū. Miha tika koe, tēnā koe e Wairangi.
Tēnā koe teo. E ngā mana, e ngā reo, e ngā kārangatanga maha huri āwhia te ao tūrua. Tēnei te mihia te kia koutou nau mai, kia whakaata Māori te tūranga waiwai o te whutiporo riki ki roto ki Tāmaki Makaurau. Hoi ona, te motu whānui, ara te apply and cheered Fox Memorial, and what a game's got shaping up, Dale.
Fantastic game here. Two teams deserving of their place in the final, of course, Wairangi, and really can't split them. They've gone head-to-head 3 times this season, and it's pretty much shared spoils. So anyone's game here today, but the team who controls best and keeps completion of their sets the best will come out on top this hour.
Tika, that's right, Dale. I mean, there's an old Māori saying called waika hua, waika tohu. Who can pick them? Who can split these two teams? Like you just said, I mean, this is the third time these two teams will meet in 4 weeks. So they know the ins and outs of each other, each players, and I dare say this is going to come right down to the wire today. Looking forward to this clash very much. Of course, Tony Kemp joining us as well in the commentary. But to get some thoughts from the coaches, Tony Kemp's been on the sideline. First up, he spoke with the Lions coach, Steve Buckingham.
Kia ora, Dale. Well, they've come out in their droves today for the Fox Memorial. And I suppose the club that's got the dynasty, that's had it for the last 10 years, the Fox Memorial Shield, it's cemented in that club up there. And I'm talking to their coach, Steve Buckingham. Bucky, you've obviously got some motivation. It's in your club already. How hard is it going to be to hold it today?
Yeah, mate, it's going to be a very tough encounter today. I mean, utahuhu's been the team to beat all year. But in saying that, you know, I think we're a team that trains hard. I've got some guys that try hard, big hearts, and I'm expecting us to give our best today as well.
So talk about some of that motivation that you used this week, because you've had it for a long time. You've played in obviously the one last year and won it. Now it's your first year as coach. Just take us through your week.
Yeah, mate, fairly relaxed week. I mean, all we've really been doing is trying to fine-tune a few things. But, you know, we've looked through our history in the last 10 years especially, I guess, but even before that. And, you know, the club's been very successful in this competition. And, you know, the guys that have gone before them, they know the pain, they know the effort they've got to go through. But at the end of the day, you know, all those guys are able to call themselves the champions. And, you know, that's what we're focused on today is second's not really what we're after. You know, if the boys want to call themselves champions this week, then we've got to do the job today.
All the best, Bucky.
Thank you, mate. Cheers.
One and only Steve Buckingham, what a contribution he's made, both as a player and first-time coach to take his team to the final of the Fox. A wonderful performance. Well, for the utahuhu Leopards, they've really swept all aside through season 2010. As I mentioned in the build-up to today's game, they've got the Root, they've got the Rukutai, they want the Fox, and Richie Blackmore's talking with Tony to explain why he thinks they can take it out this afternoon.
Dale, well, we've talked about the big show, Richie Blackmore, all year, but today it is really the big show. We're here for the Fox Memorial Appliance Shed Final. And Richie, if there's one that you want in your shed, it's this one here.
Absolutely, and you know, we've come up short in a couple of years, and we've picked up a few other trophies, but no, naturally this is the one that we have spent all the energy on over the year to pick up, and so it's an important game, naturally.
Well, so far it's a firm track, and I know that Otahu like that. Just take us through your week.
Well, obviously we have no control of the conditions today, but the weather gods have come out for now, and you know, we had to move it around with the prize giving on a Tuesday night, but a lot of it really is just about understanding that how we got here is based on good values and quality football with tough defence, and we've got to make sure that we do that and do it for the 80 minutes.
Well, you've had final words. What's your final word today to the team?
I think that one of them is don't leave anything on the pitch, and honesty.
All the best, mate.
Cheers, Tony.
So it's anyone's game here in the final of the Fox. The wind is starting to come a little bit towards me from behind, so it will favour the team running right to left from our commentary position. As you can hear in the background, the brass bands are playing, the fans are here, the blue and white flags are out, the yellow and blue flags are out for Mount Albert. It's going to be one heck of a game. Stay with us here on Māori Television because the Fox Final 2010 is coming your way, and we'll kick off right after this. Kia ora, wherever you're viewing the Fox Memorial Championship across Aotearoa and across the globe through the internet, we welcome you to Mount Smart Stadium in Tamaki Makaurau for the clash of the cats, the battle of the Titans, the Leopards and the Lions, both teams making their way out onto the track together in what has been a brilliant build-up here to this final. What a season it has been for 2010. And of course it all comes down to 80 minutes of football. It's been 10 years, Tony Kemp, since the utahuhu Leopards have won a Fox Memorial Championship. Their opponents today, well, they've been almost perennial holders of Auckland's premier club competition, and both teams thoroughly deserving their spot in today's final. And we've got two teams stacked full of talent.
Well, Dale Tenakwe, it is an absolute wonderful game that we've got in front of us here at Mount Smart. The team of the decade for me, the Mount Albert Lions. You're going to have to go into their club rooms tonight with a jackhammer to release that Fox Memorial Trophy out of their grips. But today, I suppose the people that are holding that jackhammer are the boys in blue, the Utahuhu Leopards. The Battle of the Cats, it's going to be a great one.
And of course, treated to an old-style preparation for today's final with a brass band, the whole kit and caboodle. Let's run through the squads. Trent Poyler, Matthews and Levi Holland, Shomkul, Franklin make up the back line with Riley and Wallace around the halves.
Well, you got the rubber man Blackwell at the bank on the wing, Fai Monatu, Naye Aravaro on the wings, Nuffa Tarlite, that wonderful Fen Heta, and Willie Heta, his brother in the halves with Cole Boss, who will take on the 7 jersey.
And of course, James Blackwell named Auckland Rugby League Player of the Year at the ARL dinner midweek. Here are your engine rooms. We're just awaiting the national anthem as well. Via Freeman, Nuila, Whalongo, Saina for the very talented Solala Homa at the back.
Tuta Whenua, Kavaliku, they've been very good up front for the Leopards. Moala will take up the hooking spot. Makahili, Ruaporo on the edges. And Seven Matora, look for the dummy, look for him at first receiver, look for his left foot kicking game.
And the benches today, Maliapo Pasene brothers and Matt Sturm.
Of course, coached by Steve Buckingham, Richie Blackmore, the coach of the Utahuhu Leopards, Smith, Tawhata, Makatoa and Court.
Here's the national anthem. Championship from Mount Smart, number 2 here in Tamaki Makaurau. Ray Bishop with the national anthem as well. It has been 10 years since Utahuhu have won this title. Not so their opponents who picked up the Fox Memorial Championship in 04, 6, 8 and 9. and a memorable clash between these two teams 2 seasons ago when they did battle in the final, and it was a last-minute, and I mean last-minute victory for the Mount Albert Lions. They know how to get across the line in finals football. Matthew Sturm has represented the club so well, in fact the coach so well in the week, in the build-up, television appearances, was also one of the featured guests at the Auckland Rugby League dinner. Craig Pascoe is in control of the action in this Fox final for 2010, and a warm welcome wherever you are across New Zealand. Tēnā koutou katoa. On behalf of Māori Television, so pleased to be able to bring you coverage of Auckland's premier competition. We welcome you to this afternoon's coverage of the best out of Auckland Club Rugby League. Many of these players will go on to make names for themselves in the professional ranks as well. And we only need to look at some of the names we've spoken of this year. Swapi Kavaliku, well, he might not go on to NRL, I can tell you what, he is one heck of a popo. Fred Tudowhenua, prop of the season for Auckland Rugby League. Atalia Nafatalo, we've already mentioned him, and there is the man who was deemed to be the best player in the competition for 2010, James Blackwell. You've given him big raps. In fact, you've coined the phrase the Indian rubber man for Blackwell. Tuivea looking on. We're about to get underway. The field here, as I've mentioned before, running east to west. We're broadcasting from the northern touchline, and we're underway for the Fox final for 2010, the Leopards and the Lions. Well, Tony, yesterday we saw a clash in the final of the Sharman Cup. Bay Roskill unable to control the football well enough, and eventually accounted for easily by the East Coast Bay's Barracudas, and one suspects that in today's final that will be the case as well. Absolutely imperative good ball control if you're going to get up today.
Well, for me, Dale, whoever has the best ball control will take out the title today. And for Utahuhu, over the last 3 weeks, that has been a problem that Richie Blackmore has had to address. We know that Mount Albert, they'll come out and play a very simple game and get to the back of a kick and just build pressure. They've done it for the last decade, and that's why they're the current holders of the Fox Memorial Trophy.
Here it is, first kick of the day for Heta. That ball, awkward bounce, he's on, it's coming out, it is Blackwell! Blackwell's over the line, he won't get it down though, and the Leopards come swamping at him. No alternative but to say held up, or that was a diabolical bounce. Very awkward.
Well, there's a nice kick in it from Willie Heta, and what I like about that is that he's got his hands on the ball in the first set of 6. A horrible bounce for Trent Spoiler at the back, but great recovery to get his hands around Blackwell. As you see the ball come back on its point, and Blackwell takes the ball there, but the tackle by Porter, outstanding.
That was an amazing tackle from Trent Porter. I thought it was a try for all money. As Blackwell came, the bounce was good for him, but he's just got to be watched so very closely. 2 weeks ago when these two teams did battle, the Leopards were guilty of really being asleep in the first half of football, and they paid. They had to come back and win their way through in last week's clash against the Tatatu Roosters to make today's final. The Lions with the first penalty, and that'll be 30 and 40 metres.
Well, it's always evident that the referees lay a decent foundation early, and one of those foundations is around the ruck and around the 10 metres. Craig Pascoe given a one for the ladder, and the Mount Albert Lions find themselves in the half, their first chance of attack.
Nuila plays it for Freeman, and cutting the angle is Tuivea. Ruapuro, he gets him to ground on the far side of the field. Also Makahili involved as well. A couple of metres in from the southern touchline now. First touch of the ball for Gunther Schomkel. Great finisher. He too must be very closely guarded. Short side play, Lions.
Movement, straight up in. Hold.
With some brilliant talent right across the park as Sainofos up, plays the ball back. It comes to Solala Homa. He really terrorised the Utahuhu Leopards last time they fronted each other, and expect more big work from him again. The back rower there for the Lions. That chip to the end goal. Manages to get past everybody.
Play the knock on.
Was a knock on.
Change over 10 metres out.
And you can hear yourselves at home as well. Pascoe makes the call. Leopards ball through to Tudowhenua on the 10.
Yeah, Gareth Riley just going to the air down the left edge there. Unfortunately, just put a little bit too much kaha on that ball. Ray Aravaro with his first carry, juggles it on the play the ball. Interesting, Cole Boss has gone to dummy half down. I think that's his better position. You may see a lot more of Mataora, of course, at first receiver.
And a good little dummy there from Kyle Boss, joining us for our kōrero te reo Māoris wairangi kōpū. Tēnā koe wairangi kōrero mai o whakaro tēnei kēmu.
Tēnā kōrua Dale Kempi, kāre kore he uahua ki te rongo I kona I te kaha haruru o te tini me te mano o ngā kai tautoko ko taima I te rangi. It's almost hard to hear you two from down here. The support that's turned up today for both these sides who are looking for this big win in the Appliance Shed Fox Memorial. It's great to see the turnout for Auckland Rugby League. It's a great game and it's shaping up to be a blinder.
Real celebration of football. Now there's the grubber kick to the end goal, beautifully picked up by Trent Wallace, who read it well. He's the halfback of the Fox competition, got the nod at the awards dinner. In fact, through the course of the game, I'll let you know who were deemed to have been best in their positions throughout all the clubs that contest the Fox. Buckingham in shot there. Great effort from Steve Buckingham, Tony, to consider that he just finished playing himself last year. Took his hand. Many thought that he would take up a player coaching role. He opted not to. He's done well to get his team into the finals.
Yeah, he's dead right too. Dale on his first go at it. The coaching ranks. He's going to give a penalty up here, Joel Freeman, for interfering with the play of the ball. But just going back to Bucky, he's been a good player for the club, hasn't he? He knows exactly what it is needed to win finals football. And if you wanted someone at the helm, who better to have than Steve Buckingham, who's been there and done it many times before.
Well, why don't you this? I thought that there was a bit of a wind running west to east. They've opted to take that kick, and with that breeze behind Willie Header, I guess that should come as no surprise.
Yeah, Tika Dale, there is a fair bit of a breeze behind the backs of the utahuhu side. I dare say it's been around most of the day and I can't see it going. There's a little bit of black cloud working around too, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get a little bit of rain in the second half.
Thank you, Wailangi. Willie Heta. Well, you've mentioned before, when Willie Heta is on form, if he takes his A game, few can match up. But last time that these two teams met, he was somewhat absent. Not alone. His teammates too weren't on song. Here is William Heta now from just out from the 40. Waves it away to the right-hand side of the posts.
20-metre drop kick.
Well, a few pre-game nerves there.
On the 20.
Willie Heta getting his first shot at it. Unfortunately, unable to convert it into 2 points. They've looked good with the ball in hand at the moment, Otago Leopards, completing both sides their first 2 sets. Just a couple of errors from the Mount Albert Lions there, allowing that opportunity for Willie, but they'll get straight back into it with this carry from Nayada Buttle.
This man, I mean, he's big and strong, tall, receptive step. Put away now for a couple of metres inside the half. Here's Tudu Whenua. He was the prop of the year in that squad I mentioned a few moments ago. And he really has come on and leaps and bounds. This man too has had a superb season. This is Suapa Kavaliku. Keep an eye out for him. He pops the ball laid out to Matuora Sema. Little jink and straighten. Here's Myla now out of dummy half. Boss is there. Boss first receiver throws the dummy Kyle Boss. Can't get through, and he's sorted in the tackle of Nuila. Great opportunity for the Leopards. Here they come through Kavaliku. He can't get through. Thought he might have lost the ball. Fifth and final tackle. Across to Matuora. Numbers on the far side. Launches it to test them out wide. Great take. Gutsy take two out wide by Sam Lemon-Franklin.
I'll tell you what, and great defence on his try line again by Trent Spoiler on Kavaliku. He carried it one off the ruck and tried to barge his way over. But unfortunately for him, Trent Spoiler, who's pulled off 2 wonderful tackles, kept Mount Albert in it at this early stage. Nice take by Sam Lemon-Franklin.
On the 20 metres now. Here they come, the Lions. Good carry too from Nuila, former Leopard himself. He'll play it a couple of metres short of the 30. Mount Albert into the ground. Shot call forced to turn and recover. Get it out of the danger area. And that kick is a poor kick. And the Otahuhu Leopards congratulate the kicker.
Well, he's come up with a couple of biggies, hasn't he, Joel Freeman? One an infringement while carrying the ball and trying to get rid of the players in the ruck, and the second one off his right boot, finding touch on the full. Areas you don't want to turn the ball over to Otahu. Here where we are right now. Look for Willie Heta to step up here.
And just to pick up again on yesterday's game as well, Great win to the Point Chevrolet Pirates, as you know. Here is Matora. Stacey Jones, Alan Guttenbeil coaching. They did well. They beat Altara. The Failing Shield final. Kavaliku to the line. Well, that would have taken some stopping. He is a powerfully built unit. Now Moala gets it back to Blackwell. Blackwell cut down around the legs. And a beautiful tackle by St. Afo, but still alive. The Leopards full of running. Bullet pass wide. The Yayavado on the spin. No. Can't quite get over the line. He comes up just a metre short. And a little knock on to boot as well. Well, they can't say they haven't had their opportunities, they Wairangi.
Tika tō kōrero deo, koera te wā tūrua, ko rawe te rārangi rutu o ngā utahuhu Leopards, hoi anō I hapa iti rātau I ngā rutu whakamutunga. It's twice now that they've put on great defensive sets down here in the Mount Albert's half, only to come short of coughing up the ball. So one thing that Mount Albert is going to have to secure that ball a little bit better, but also if your Otahuhu wants to put some pressure on, they're going to have to score points and take those chances when they come.
20 up from the line. Big Sam Homewa up to play the ball. Darting run from dummy half from the fullback. Trent Poyler. Gee, we've had some fabulous fullbacks in the competition this season. Out to Nuila. The likes of James Blackwell, Wakeford, out of the Howick squad, and Poyler from Mount Albert. Phil Tessier from Tātatu. Really been a year of the ones, Tony.
And it has to right throughout the grades. You have a look too, of course, today on show for their zonal sides. These boys playing their final football, they'll get straight back into the competition.
Hold shot, excuse me. Here's Riley. Riley with an opportunity. Riley holds it. Poyler now. Poyler over the top. Bounce vital. Still alive. Then the knock on the 10-metre line. Put it on my. Sorry to interrupt there, Tony.
Well, look, sometimes you're wondering whether or not they're calling the right calls here. I thought there was a knock on there from the Lions. It's been called play on, and they find themselves in a bit of a break. Now, the offload here, it goes to the ground, and to me, that was a knock on. But he's called a play on, and Riley here should have probably gone to the inside straight away to Poyler, but decided to hold on to it, and they find themselves in a little bit of trouble.
Drew Solala Homer. You've already seen that this kid's destined for bigger things, Tony. He's a massive unit, but takes the ball well to the line and gets over that advantage line with monotonous regularity. Fa'u Shainafo up to play the ball now. Danger time for the Otahuhu defence. It's with Freeman, throws the dummy. Freeman goes himself, Joel Freeman. The Leopards awake to his ploy. Taylor's run just shy of the try line. To Wallace. Wallace now pushes it wide to Fa'alongo. That's Holland. That's been tapped down by Faimana to play on. First knock on. And it will be a scrum feed there for the Leopards on the 10.
Well, Pascoe has gone directly to his touch judge for the first call there and got it straight away after some wonderful play by Salafa'alongo down this right edge. He likes to carry, push his left hand out and draw the centre in, Salah. But on this occasion, they get their hands to the ball and the defender. He got Boss, but unfortunately couldn't get the ball out to Levi Holland.
Now, Wuramu Heta. Good carry for Heta, never back to 10 metres. Piggyback penalty coming the way of the Leopards. Well, 11 minutes gone, no score as yet. And that is a very poor kick in a final. Howie Matthews with the ball. Heta will have to ensure that those little mistakes that he removes from his game. That was a very, very poor touch finder. Freeman works the short side, gets it across to Howie Matthews. Also seen him a couple of seasons ago playing in the jersey number 1 to great effect also. Inside ball, Trent Wallace finds to Ivea. They're up to play now. 18 from the line, 5 to the right-hand side of the posts. Big opportunity starting to present itself here for the Lions as they work it through Riley. Riley with the double around, not delivered up on. Fifth and final tackle called, 12 from the line. Lions with possession. Now Wallace. Wallace with the ball, the wide pass, Holland. And the referee has called that forward and has asked it to be played by the Leopards. Still no score. And coming up towards 14 minutes gone in the 2010 final.
Well, Wairangi, you know when you're playing in finals football,
Line.
you get a lot back by the way that teams are defending, and both these sides have brought a pretty good defensive game to the
One.
final.
Movement. Hold.
E tika Kempi, kāre kore, koira te take kua taimai rātau ki tēnei whiringa toa i te rangi nei. I think defence has definitely got both of these teams to the grand final. And like you said, Kempi, two good sets from both sides, deep down in the half. Silly little errors like not kicking the ball out on the full when you got a penalty are very costly. But that, my friends, is a very good kick. And
That's
that
a
gets you right
40-20.
back in the game.
40-20, Sema Mataora, and again illustrates the value of having him at the back as an extra kicker. Well inside the 40, in fact it was more like a 30-20. And this will give the scrum feed to the Leopards and a great attacking opportunity for them. Sema Mataora, as well as being a cool head, he's got a lot of different attributes in his game. He's a powerful runner with the ball, but everyone knows about the dummies that he delivers so regularly. How people continue to fall for them sometimes stumps me, but he must he just confused him at that last moment. Here now is Nafatala, one of the form players of the season. He's up to play it back for Kyle Boss. 12 metres away. Now Blackwell. It's Wallace. He grasses him now on the 10-metre line. Whaimanatu for Tarquin Court. Probably could have done with a little bit more lead up on the before receipt. Tarquin, he too has contributed well to this Leopards effort. Back it comes. Out to Jeffrey Ruaporo. He is silenced now. Just 5 metres from the try line. Moala out to Mataora. Flat ball, Heta shows it on the inside for Blackwell, does not deliver. And will play the ball on the 5th and final tackle now. 10 to the right-hand side of the posts. What will we see from the Leopards here? Mataora with the ball. There's the poke into the in goal. And the dive from Ruaporo fractionally late. And we'll restart it on the 20.
Well, if we can get a look at the replay here, that shot down the right-hand side to Willie Heta. They had 3 men on the outside, which he should have gone to, and there was no Mount Albert players at home. They'd crammed up on the incoming runner on the inside, which was James Blackwell, and he decided to go to him. But that right-hand side plate, Sema Mataora out the back to Willie Heta on a sweep plate, has got all sorts of benefits about it. They should play that more often.
This is Nuila. Judu Whenua.
Just because it's on the back of the head doesn't excuse it.
Checked. They're coming up too high, according to Craig Pascoe. Penalty now, king towards the southern touchline, Freeman. Restarting now, 35 from the line and 10 in from the southern touchline. It will be through Freeman, just waiting another ball to come onto the field. Beautiful day here in Tamaki Makaurau. Glad you could join us for the action. We appreciate your support right through the season. Hope you've enjoyed seeing local rugby league. Led to believe many offshore have through the internet. Great glimpse of what's going on back at home. So now Noeli to play the ball, just short of the halfway line. They decide to work down the left corridor through Sainafo. Makahili making the tackle on the far side of the field. 8 metres inside the Leopards half, still no score. Got the Shomko. A real arm wrestle we're witnessing here at the moment between these two clubs. 17 minutes played. Wheeler and Veer. Forward pass there. Sione questions the decision, but it will stick. And the feed going the Leopards' way. About 38 out from their own line.
Well, they like this little play here. Nuila on Tavea. They've gone through plenty of times in 2010, just with a simple pass on or tip on, but on this occasion, just overrunning the ball a little bit Veer. He's got a strong carry, isn't he, Nafatala?
Caused no end of problems, and he has intent today. He is in a mood. Here is Whaimanatu, desperate to get away. Does very well to stay on the field of play. Superb. The play 31 metres from the line. It's out for Boss. Boss now for Ruaporo. Good straight carry from Ruaporo. Put away by Veer. 18 out and 10 in from the northern touchline. Now it's Tarquin Court. Hint of a forward pass. Play on, says the referee. Now 10 from the line. Out of dummy half, Moala. Sees a hole, Moala. Takes the dive, takes it home. Lemone Moala is a winner. He's in for try number 1.
Well, if you look at that whole set, Dale, they were caught on their haunches, the Mount Albert Lions, in each play. On each set of play, they ran easily for 10 metres before Moala looked to shape to go to the left. The marker went that way, popped out to the right, no one home, and they just sat on their try line. And Lamoni Moala, the man in picture, just got over the try line. It was too much strength to get that ball down.
Well, that is a great start for the Utahuhu Leopards. Lamoni Moala did it himself. This is a superb carry to start us off. This is Nafatale. Lots to like about his game. Great hands there too from Blackwell Boss. Whaimanatu does superbly to stay in the field of play here under tremendous pressure. And then from 10 metres, Moala spies an opening, backs himself and collects the first 4 point. A great play from the talented dummy half runner. And now looking to add the extras. Willie Heta will ride with him, then get some thoughts on that try from Wairangi Kopu. It's 4-0. Quarter of the game gone. These 2 pointers so very important in finals football, and it is there. 6-0, quarter to my Wairangi.
O te wā tuatahi kua whati te rārangi i te kapa o ngā Leopards, i te kapa o ngā Lions. And, well, first time the Utahuhu Leopards broken down a little short side play, broke the line with Nafatalai, the Peter Whaimanatu to stay in. They capitalise on the back of that after some quick play of the ball, some taku court. It's a great little setup play from the centres. So those big game plays, those big players like Nafatalai and Naya Varo, those are the ones that are going to come in handy.
So now trying to get cool heads, no doubt, the Leopards, and play mistake-free football. Starting off with a run from Turuwhenua. He is midfield and on the 20, Leopards end of the ground, now caught. I was asking a friend, it's not a name I'm overly familiar with, Tarquin, but apparently it is quite a reasonably common English name. You heard of any other guys called Tarquin, Tony?
No, I haven't heard them called Tarquin. I've heard them called plenty of other names in England, but not that one, I'm afraid. I'll tell you what, he's been pretty impressive when he's come on, Tarquin. He's carried the ball over the advantage line, made plenty of metres. He's just got this man again, Joel Freeman. He's given away 3 errors, and this is so unlike Mount Albert. If you have a look at the statistics, they're only running at 50% at the moment, 4 from 8. But the scary statistic here is that they've already missed 10 tackles, whereas Otahu have only missed the 1. And for me, that's a problem area that he needs to fix straight away, Bucky, which means his first up contact is poor, and against a side like Otahu, that means plenty of points.
Uaporo hit, actually lifted off the ground. Now caught. They're always taking 3 defenders to hold him. So 20 metres out from the try line already, Otahuhu. Here is Matuora. That's a misdirected pass. Luckily for Otahuhu, Heta able to retire and recover the football. 33 metres now away from the Lions line. They'll work it to the right. It's to the Whenua where he carries to the line. Sturm downstairs, halts his run. 22 from the line now to Heta. Heta has a look on the inside, then delivers up nicely to the Makahili. Simon will play the ball on the 5th and final tackle now. The Leopards with the ball. It's across for Heta. Heta shakes to the line, then the grubber kick, played at and in front, knocked on in fact. So the Leopards will get another roll of the dice from the 10.
They just got to be careful here too, Otahu. A nice little dink through from Willie Heta, but they had no one home at fullback. James Blackwell up on the inside of Willie Heta there. And on occasions, if they get the ball in their hands of the Lions, there's a free run. Whether they can go 80 metres, I'm not too sure, but another set of 6. Those tackles, especially those missed tackles, keep mounting for the Lions.
It's Kyle Boss to feed. Peeling off the back is Matuora. They come to Nafatale. Skillful Nafatale, close Nafatale! Well, we've been singing his praises all year. And why wouldn't you? He is very, very hard to contain. What a talent. And they're whistling Dixie down there in Panama Road. Their boyo's done him big-o, and he's in again. Nafatale, take a bow.
Atalea Nafatale. the best centre in the country, I think. The way that he carries the football. They've had three scrums, the Utahuhu Leopards, and he's carried it at first receiver on 3 occasions, and this time he goes at his opposite, Levi Holland, and just stands him up cold. He's got some strength, this kid. I'll tell you one other thing he's got is a big asset of speed, and he was just too big, strong and fast for his opposition there. Utterly Nafatalai, outstanding.
Well, I feel a great sense of pride when I see him do well. I've known the young fella since he was about 9. My young bloke used to play footy with Atalia, and it's been great to see him develop into a fine young man, a true sportsman, great ambassador for his family and the game, and of course hugely talented. And hopes are high that he's able to carry the sort of form we've seen this year into higher representative honours. Now for Heta, trying to put another nail in the coffin of the Mount Albert Lions. 10-0, still a long way to go, of course. Just on 16 minutes to play. Let's ride this kick home with Heta. 6 metres in. Is it going to come around? It will not. And the scoreline remains at 10-0, but an absolutely important 10. Great start for the Leopards, and just what the doctor ordered for Richie Blackmore, Waitangi.
Ai koira, ko te mate mō Levi Holland, I tatari ia mō Nawhitalai ki te oma I te tuatahi. The little problem there with Levi Holland was he gave Nawhitalai a little bit too much time. He got up, Nawhitalai put a little bit of a jig on and he stopped, which meant that the man with Nawhitalai was pretty quick, got on the outside and pretty easy, and was all over the line from there.
Well, the alarm bell's ringing at the moment, no doubt back at Fowles Park. They've been the team that would normally get away to a good start. Ray Bishop with his date for the night.
I'll tell you what, there's a good looking sort too next to him, Ray.
Hold, go.
A few Lions around raising their eyebrows, they'll give you the tip. Here's Tutu Whenua.
It's dead right, I thought it was a cougar.
So the Tuhoe Express plays the ball on the 40-metre line. It's been all Utahuhu. Possession, you would think, has favoured them considerably. It's actually at 53 to 47%. So here's Mataora. More problems at the back for Mount Albert. Trouble aplenty. Howie Matthews says a dead restart on the or underneath the posts. And really everything is just coming up roses at the moment here for this Leopards outfit.
And he's just gone to the air there, Sema Mataora. And you'd bank your money on Howie Matthews taking that. Not happy with himself. 9 times out of 10, that would go just for an easy catch for Howie Matthews. As Craig Pascoe calls time off just to get some attention back to the football here. But Sema Mataora, I like him at first receiver. When he's got the ball in his hands, Dale, he causes all sorts of problems.
Good kick.
So now, really under the hammer at the moment, the Lions defence. It's Tutu Whenua. Another powerful run. A get out of my face sort of run again from Tutu Whenua. It's Kitiona Paseni who makes the tackle. Now it's Heta. Growing in confidence, this Leopards outfit, as they look at a scoreboard that reached 10-0 with 13 to play in the first half of the final for 2010. Through the hands to Tarquin Court. Does what he does best, and that straightens the attack. He'll play it on the 10 metres. Kyle Boss must be watched from this position. Boss throws the dummy.
Short 4.
And is short on the full tackle.
On the right.
Numbers to the right. It's Blackwell. Now Heta. The grubber kick played at, and then out. We'll just check whether that was touched by a Leopard hand. And it will be again a Leopard ball. So no respite here for the Lions, who've had to defend their line. And they must be really sucking in the big ones at the moment because, well, the Leopards have just come at them without halt.
Lock in.
They packed the scrum down now on the 10-metre line.
Well, the possession stakes are really mounting against the Lions, and this is going to pay later in the game. Blackwell takes a carry.
Blackwell. We've referred to him before as akin to a pinball in a pinball machine. He goes ping, zing, bang, spins. It's just all on. We should really have sound effects and bells every time he runs the ball forward.
Bells and whistles, he's got plenty of those on him.
Georgie Smith into dummy half now. This is Mataora. Runner on the inside for Sema.
That's your third.
Doesn't use Ruaporo, third tackle. Now Smith. Thought he saw an opening.
Tackle 4. Move now.
That opening shot
Don't hold him,
closed
14.
very quickly. It's Boss. Here is Heta. Left behind though. This will be a Lions ball and they can finally breathe a sigh of relief.
There's nothing there.
Well, no advantage there, Dale.
Come for the scrum.
And the Mount
Don't
Albert
hold him.
Lions, at a time when they needed a big error, they got one. 4 from 8. Unheard of here in finals football for the Mount Albert Lions. Generally, always ahead in the stakes as far as possession goes. They find themselves on the wrong end of every stat on the book at the moment. 12 from 14 on the other hand for the Utahuhu Leopards.
That's good ball control, isn't it, Tony?
Move!
And of course the tackles are starting to mount up.
Well, it's not the tackles, it's the petrol. The petrol's starting to run out.
Move now!
They've already put on, what's that,
Hold,
39 extra tackles.
6 sets of 6.
This is a good run from Trent Poyler. Comes a cropper, 8 short of the halfway line. Out of dummy half, Howie Matthews works it down the right-hand side. Fa'alongo, the co-captain of this Lions crew.
4! Movement!
Tackle number 4, just a metre or so inside the Leopards half. It's Freeman to Wallace. Holds it off and finds Pasene. Fifth and final called on Pasene. Missing out Homer, down to Riley. Riley puts the angled kick in. We'll find Naya Avaro. And the Fijian flyer comes to ground, or is put to ground on the 20-metre line. Now Blackwell, first receiver. He'll just take a conservative settler while his teammates are able to recover, get themselves in the position. Smith now has a look on the right, but works left for Kavaliku. He comes at Homer.
3! Move now! Hands out! Hold
Tackled
in.
3, 15 short of the halfway. Smith at Sturm. Homer, Pasene, all of them, engulf them and put them away, 5 short of the halfway.
Yes, Matt!
Nice little ball on the inside there, keeping it alive through Ruapuro. Ducks out of one tackle, Ruapuro. Can't get away from the second wave of Lions defenders. We'll play it 40 metres from the line now as it comes to Heta. Heta decides to launch it. It's a big towering bomb, and the pressure was on at the back, but the skill level by Trent Poyler is something that we must all acknowledge, and we dip our hat to the talented number 1.
Yeah, nice catch there by Trent Poyler. Plenty of support coming through on the ball for the Utahuhu Leopards after that pillar of a kick from Willie Heta. They've backed it up here, Utahuhu, by giving away a penalty. And with 10 minutes to go, the Mount Albert Lions will find themselves in with an opportunity here.
And Waitangi, I guess they'll be looking at that 10 minutes. Certainly Buckingham desperately will want to get over the line here and shorten up that deficit of 10 points. They'll turn with the wind at their backs as well, so we have to factor that in also as Matty Sturm takes the ball forward. Really important 10 minutes, Waitangi.
Tika Dale, Kare Kore, kei te kōrero a Steve Bucky on nei kai riwhi e nai nei koia ko rātou tētai o ngā tino me ki ngā pukinga mo te kapo o Mount Albert. I think going into this game, you know, you'd have to say that the Leopards through the season have been a great side, you know, great individual players, but stepping up into semi-finals football, they're fitting a whaiti. Mount Albert have shown their colours, and you know, got the wood over and got over Otahuhu just don't seem to have stepped up to that second level. But coming into this game, no doubt, you know, Utahuhu Leopards, they look like a grand final team, whereas the Mount Albert Lions are struggling to keep up.
Got the little offload here. Trent Wallace is finding a bit of an opportunity too. Straightens. Fifth and final tackle called on the Lions. Great chance for them here from dummy half. Everyone leaves it behind, and picking it up is Faimanatu. He'll play it on the 20-metre line, and backpedaling go the Lions. Quick play the ball needed. Delivered up now. Boss on to Kavaliku. Straightens the attack. He comes at Sturm. Big Sawapa is away from one. He comes to the next. Oh, he's pushing him aside. Out of the way, he says, and he comes bulldozing down the track. Here's Smith out of dummy half. He too wants to get into the action. And Smith goes to ground now, just a metre or so inside the Lions half. By Manatu, dummy half. Now it's Nafadalo with a settler. Tackle number 4 here, 10-0, 7.5 to play in the first half of the final. Boss, not a good pass, wisely left alone there by Matora. What a senior figure Sema Matora is.
Go.
What a good team he has control of when he's on form. The chip over the top, looking for the regather, it comes. But it touched an Utahuhu Leopard's hand.
That was a beautiful little play by Willie Heta there. The vision of the man outstanding with the rubber man coming up on the outside here. And James Blackwell being adjudged there by Craig Pascoe to have reached out and touched the ball. It was close the gates as Henry Heta was coming on the outside here. This run by Kavaliko, outstanding. Hard to tackle this big man.
He's been really one of the finds of the season, hasn't he, Kavaliko? Superb. That's the chip, the bounce, so he gets away from everyone, ends up in the hands of Henry Heta, but deemed to have been touched by a Leopards player. Now with the Lions, little dummy from Howie Matthews. He's on the halfway and centre field. Down to 6.5 minutes on the clock. It's Sturm first receiver, one right, gets short up, and the tackle of Smith and Kavaliko. Brutal defence.
Well, this is a real critical period of the game here from both sides. Mount Albert need to find something, and something quick. And on the other hand, if utahuhu can go in and sneak something, whether it be a penalty or even a try, then they're in the box seat.
Up to play the ball, Solala Homar. To the right, it's Wallace. Well, Wallace knows there's little doing. Fine 1 or 2, touches it, but controls it. Comes back to have a second bite at the cherry. He's got it now, and will play the ball on the 10-metre line. Leopards end to the ground. Two now to Blackwell, first receiver. Must keep an eye on him at that part of the field, because if he can just sneak through that hole, it's very difficult to come from behind to catch him.
That's your third movement.
He's got the wheels, all right. Blackwell. This is Kyle Boss. Don't know what happened in there, but Salah Fa'alongo was the tackler.
Well, there's not much in it. Salah's just lashed out and gave a little bit of a tickle. Kyle Boss doesn't like it. He'll just get him up here and play the ball, Craig Pascoe.
And that's great to see. There's our future right there, in shot, on camera. Great to see all the families out. It is a whānau game, of course, rugby league. It's great as we get older, Tony, to watch the names repeating generation after generation. Awesome stuff. 10-0 it is in the final. Deep. And Lemu Franklin almost butchers it. Back it comes in the end for Poiler. He goes across field, and then the chase is superb.
Yeah, wonderful tackle there by the replacement there, Makotua.
Yeah, he's not lost in the back row or wide, is he, at all? Makotua, Siravai. Just what Richie Blackmore would have hoped for. A fortnight ago, it was Mount Albert who took the spoils and came through in the major semi-final. First team into the final. They had to come through the back door. The Leopards, which you can hear it. It's tough and it's uncompromising in the middle here. Up to play the ball is Bazini Laubebe. This time penalty for too high. No.
He's right on the face. He may have fallen, but he's still got to take more care.
He's just unlucky there, George Smith. Craig Pascoe just saying the falling attacker there, unfortunately. Gets a penalty here. Joel Freeman will find it 35 out. Have they got anything here, the Mount Albert Lions?
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't think 10 points is enough to feel too confident for the Leopards. We've seen this Mount Albert team fight tooth and nail for every inch of Whenua. They'll be doing the same in the second 40 as well. That was a preparatory spin there from Paseni. Plays it down the 20-metre line. Can the Lions do the business before the half-time hooter? That run there comes from Shomko. Shomko gets him into good strike zone. Here they come. It's the Lions out of dummy half. Spinning, going, getting. Oh, yeah. Joel Freeman's the man to do the business. And he sticks one into the Leopards.
16.
I'll tell you what, Joel Freeman, he's had to do it all himself too on that occasion. He's popped out a dummy half with nothing on, and spun out of 3 tackles and slammed the ball down over the try line. Utahuhu got only themselves to blame in this instance. They find themselves on the back of a penalty in the wrong end of the area and also on the wrong end of the clock with 3 minutes counted down to half-time. Instead of going in at 10-0, they're going to go in at least 10-4 down or even 10-6, and now we've got a real game on our hands. But just have a look here. This is a nice carry down the blind side which got the shot goal. And the quick play the ball allows one marker and Joel Freeman to get out, beat him on the inside, and then he does some work here to get over the try line. 32 to Whenua can't hold him up. That's a wonderful comeback from the Mount Albert Lions.
Fresh legs on too, a little at 6s and 7s that time. You can't take your eyes off Joel Freeman. Now, if you're a Leopards fan, you'll be disappointed. If you're a league lover, you'll be rapt, because this is what finals footy is about. It's going to be an absolute catfight right to the end. These 2 points, all important as well. Howie Matthews lines himself up here. He's about 10 metres in from the southern touchline. It's right at home. Will it come around? Go there. Not this time. It remains 10-4, good buddy. Speaking of good buddies, let's go to Wailangi Kopu.
Te wā tuatai ko Harmony hia te kapo o ngā Leopards ki tēnei wāhanga o te papawhira. Ara, te wā tuarua me rutu rātau me ārai, ni tō rātau nei rārangi. Backing up after a penalty is always going to be tough for the Otahuhu Leopards. Getting down to this time, 2 minutes before the second half, but that'll be great confidence for the Mount Albert Lion and for Steve Buck and their boys going into half-time.
Here's the restart. Well, the Leopards, there is no room for complacency. Perhaps that was what had filtered into their game in the last few minutes. Lions come back, look at this run, oh yeah. Plenty to like about the attitude on that carry.
Thank you.
That's Pasini. The Pasini boys have done well since they've come on the field. Two of them, Lau Pepe and Ketiona. And here is a penalty for a strip. The momentum shift evident here.
Well, he gets a late call here, Craig Pascoe. Obviously got it from the sideline. The penalty's favouring the Lions 5-3 at this stage. And with 50 seconds to go, they'll get most of the set of 6 out.
Hold, go.
And this is where the referee got a call to say a strip was on. The tackle is made on Matthew Sturm, who's up to play the ball. It's Freeman. Now across to Paula Maliapo. He can't get through. They must close ranks here, the Otahuhu Leopards, or else this Lions team will sting them again. There's the play through. This is the danger. Here are the Lions. Tackle number 1. There was a thought for a moment the tackle was made before the man received the ball. But nevertheless, Pascoe right on the spot, and a knock-on ensues as well. So the scrum feed will go to the Leopards. They'll dodge the bullet as we go to the half-time break.
Unlucky there. Nice set play. And they've gone to the left-hand side to that man, Gary Riley, and he's put through a nice little kick here with plenty of support. And he should have just gone, Maliopo, but he's decided to go to Gunther Shopgood, and great chase back by Nayara Bottle.
And the referee, Craig Pascoe, calls a halt to the first 40, and what an exciting 40 minutes of football it was also. Tony Kemp, 10-4. This is the sort of footy we expected here from these two fine squads, and really, after 40 minutes, still can't be split.
No, I'll tell you what, Turn, he touched on it, Bucky, before the game, that he's got the fittest side in the comp, or that's what he thinks. So at this stage at 10-4, they'll get plenty out of this halftime talk from Bucky, knowing that they're still in the game with all the elements behind them. They've got the win, they've got a break, and they've also only one try behind the Otahuhu Leopards. It's a game on, Dale. Should be a
game
good
on
one.
Indeed, Tony, and you saw what they were vying for, the Fox Memorial Championship. The Otahuhu squad haven't won it for 10 years. Will they be able to take it this year? We'll find out after the break. When we come back, evaluate the first half and get set for the second half of football. But at half-time in the final of the Fox here at Mount Smart in Tamaki Makaurau, it's 10 points to 4. The Leopards lead the Lions. Back soon. Kia ora no, welcome back to Mount Smart, number 2 here in Tamaki Makaurau. Isn't that great? A lot of preparation for the
That's
fans.
Richie Blackmore's mum there.
Oh, really? Yeah, wonderful stuff. Well, there's the man himself, former Kiwi international. He's done a fine job with this team. He's been disappointed that even though they've got all the other silverware, he hasn't been able to get the Fox in his tenure at the club. That may change in 40 minutes. We'll have a look. They got away to a great start, the Otahuhu Leopards. A darting run from Leimone Moala from an innocuous spot, just straight out there, and he darts through and is able to score. Really poor defence there by the Mount Albert Lions. Got them away to a good start, and with the conversion it was 6-0.
And then they went to the scrum, and this big man here, Nafatalai, gets a one-on-one against his opposite, Levi Holland, stands him up. He's just too strong here, runs through a couple of tacklers. He's been very good in the first half, Nafatalai. Planned move, much order. Nafatalai, she's all on.
He's a skillful player, and you cannot afford to give him any opportunities close to the line. So try number 2. Things look pretty rosy at that stage for the Otahuhu Leopards, but just as you would expect from a champion team, They were not to lie down, and it was Joel Freeman who spied a little opening, benefit of some spinning top work, and he's in to get the try as well. It wasn't converted, and this is how we end up with a 10-4 scoreline at the half-time break. But what